Nice.
Okay, I think I have to press go live on Instagram as well.
It says we're live.
Sweet.
Brother Omri, are you there?
Test. All right.
Test, test, test.
We just
Everything
need to
going
check.
good?
We need to check and see. I'm gonna pull it up.
We're
Whoa.
live.
All right. I just posted a comment. Oh, there she is, Sister Bethany
Looks like
Downs.
it's working. She's in the chat. She's here with us in spirit.
Okay. Now we just gotta see. Okay, I see the viewer thing. The viewer. I wish we could see who it is. Can we see who joins?
Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
We're up to 7 viewers right now, Mason.
Let's go. Arkansas youth is showing up. We love it. Love to see it.
Okay.
Do we want to go ahead and get started? We want to wait for the
No, we gotta
peeps to roll in.
wait till all our friends get here.
We did announce 7:00, so I feel like it's only fair.
Yeah, it's only fair.
How's everybody doing? My wife is currently making fun of my AirPods. It's a practical reason, okay? They're on so that the audio from my computer doesn't go into the microphone and cause an ear-piercing echo for the rest of the stream.
We're always
You guys are
down
welcome.
for an audio one-on-one class right now.
Go ahead. You're the gear guy.
Okay. First step is you need power. Nothing is happening without power.
Power.
And that goes for both in here and in the soundboard. Next, you're going to need some cables. A few kinds of cables. This guy right here, XLR.
Okay, stop moving it. That sounds awful.
Oh no. I just exposed my quality of XLR cable. Okay, I don't see Corbin's chat on here. Do you see it? But I see Corbin's chat on Instagram.
Okay, so yeah, the Instagram chats it said it won't show up on StreamYard.
Okay. Corbin, what's up, man? He said there's the brothers.
There's the brothers.
He spelled it BROTHAS with a fire emoji. So
Sounds pretty hype to me.
I'll try to keep up with the comments on Instagram on here then. So we ain't missing anybody.
I'm pulling it up
Gentry
right now.
Needham.
Dude, what a legend. We got
here.
Gentry Needham.
What's audio? Oh, I think we just found our first guest.
Gentry Needham. Audio. Audio is anything in a worship service you can see. Dude, this Equipped Live is providing you with so much value right now. If you're getting blessed right now, you're welcome.
Gentry, drop your favorite Bethel song in the comments right now.
All of them. That's what he's going to say.
What is the how many times am I going to move this microphone during this podcast is the question.
I don't know. I
Too
think
many
we
times.
found
Already done it too many
I think we
times.
found Omri's Twitch.
All right.
What's up, Bradley?
Yep. Got Brad. All Hail King Jesus. That is a good one. Bass tone is crazy on that song. All right.
We're pulling it up. It's 7:00. Top of the show. Here we go, everybody. play that graphic. That's super cool animated intro.
Okay, here he
Just
goes.
kidding.
One,
All
two.
right. All right. Welcome
Perfect video.
everybody to Equipped Live. This is our first episode. We're so thrilled to bring this podcast into existence. It's been something that I've been wanting to see happen, something that I think is a good tool and a good resource for Arkansas youth worship going forward. We want to take a moment to welcome you. Thank you for being a part of Arkansas Youth Worship, and for giving a little bit of time to come be a part of this tonight. Uh, we want to go ahead and introduce ourselves and, tell you a little bit about who we are and why you would want to listen to anything we have to say. So we'll start with Brother Omri. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what kind of got you started into the worship sphere. Tell us your background.
Worship sphere. Sounds like some
Yeah,
patches I downloaded the other day.
let's
Um,
go.
my name's Omri. I've been a part of Arkansas Youth Worship since I was 15. I think I played my first camp, and Arkansas Youth Worship didn't really look like what it does today, but it was still, a vision and something that was happening. So I started as a student, just being able to play at things I was asked to play, and going to events. They used to put on events kind of like we do with Equipped now, and things of that nature. But just started at my local church, playing any instrument I could. I actually started playing acoustic guitar. That was the first thing I learned, and then eventually moved on to bass. But yeah, I am currently in Bentonville, Arkansas, and attend Calvary Church of Bentonville, Pastor Chancellor Dean. I'm not currently serving any sort of leadership role at that church. I'm just serving as any way I can. I am over the pro presenter team right now. That's kind of my responsibilities. So, which is a new area for me. So all the shout outs to all the pro presenter guys out there in the chat right now. How
Awesome.
about you with Mason?
Cool. Well, my name is Mason Downs. I'm currently in North Little Rock. I go to Brother Mark Melton's church, who's also my grandpa. He's my pastor, grandpa, and really good mentor in life. But yeah, so my start in worship ministry, um, I was a pastor's kid. Start from when I was 8 to when I was 18. My dad started a church in Fayetteville, and acoustic guitar is also my first instrument. I
Still
kind of
is.
learned drums on my own, just like in my own time, but I don't consider myself a drummer. It was just something I did because every little kid thinks drums are super cool. So I was just doing it all the time. I was like
Yeah,
the backup Wednesday night drummer,
we've all
so,
been there.
but no, I took acoustic guitar lessons, in fifth grade. Fourth or fifth grade is when I started. And from there, just music became a part of everything I did in life. Like it's what I wanted to do in school. It's what I wanted to do in ministry. Um, and so, yeah, it all kind of started from there. Jeremy Guzman, when you talk about Arkansas Youth Worship, you got to give shout
He's
outs
the
to
man.
Jeremy Guzman,
That's right.
bro.
He's
Cause
the pioneer, right? He's the one
yeah,
who kind of set us on the course that we're still on today.
exactly. And I mean, even personally in my life, I owe a lot of my love for music, my start in worship ministry, even part of the decision to go to Bible college was all, he had his influence
Yeah,
in some of the things that I was doing at a young age. I looked up to him a lot.
yeah.
And but I remember it was a kids camp. I got asked to play acoustic for 1 year. That was kind of like my first big thing to do in the Arkansas district. And I
I
was
think I
like,
remember
dude,
that.
for me playing acoustic at kids camp, I was like, I've made it. This is the dream.
Hey, dude,
Um,
his camp's awesome too. Like,
yeah,
sign me up.
I was like a 14 or 15-year-old getting to play. And I remember the feeling of getting to do that at a kids camp. And I was like, I got to do this my whole life. Like, this is what I want to do with my life. And so later in life, when I was making my decision to go to college, I was torn between Bible college and secular college. And I decided to go to the U of A for engineering because I was on scholarship there. But after a year, I just knew I was like, God's really calling me to pursue this. So I went to Urshan and got a music degree. And I did music stuff there, but really what I got from Urshan more than the music degree itself was so many experiences in worship ministry and just in churches in general, getting to go across the country and see how all types of different churches operate, their church culture, their worship
Yeah,
culture, their administrative culture was super eye-opening for me. And it's part of what I feel, these types of conversations and experiences not everybody gets, right?
100%.
Not everybody gets to go across the country to a church in every state and
Right.
see what worship ministry is like all across the place. And I was like, man, I want conversations like that. I want exposure like that to be happening on all the teams in Arkansas, for
Yeah.
Arkansas youth. And so that's part of why I feel super passionate about being a part of Arkansas Youth Worship, is because I want to bring, even though I don't consider myself the expert by any standard, I want to start these conversations. I think people should be talking and communicating about, helping each other grow as worship ministers. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a little bit about me, where I got my start and what I want to see going forward.
Yeah, I think the big thing that is aligns even why we're on this live podcast today is giving the people who haven't had the chance to go to many churches and see many different ways that people do things, is how can we still communicate and open the minds of the youth in the Arkansas district and maybe even other districts of how we can grow together and um, expand and grow this kingdom of God together no matter where we're at. So it's good stuff.
I mean, for me, being a pastor's kid, honestly, a North American missions kid, I we didn't have a worship team at our church. It was me on the keys, my brother on drums, my dad and my sister and whoever else would show up to sing. And like I didn't know what a click track was. I didn't know what multi-tracks were
Yeah,
until like a long time. Like I
foreign.
honestly didn't even work with multi-tracks very frequently until I got to college.
Yeah,
Like that that exposure for me, something like Arkansas Youth Worship, and then like my few experiences with doing stuff in camps, is what really gave me any exposure and motivation at all to pursue excellence in
right.
worship ministry and to like expose me to these kinds of things. So I think this organization, I just want to say a big thank you for like sacrificing a lot of your time, Omri, and
Yeah,
really just putting in a lot of effort to make something like this a reality where people can, like, the average ninth grader right now is like miles,
ridiculous.
light
Yeah,
years ahead of where any
yeah,
of us were like growing up, starting off as musicians. And so,
yeah.
yeah, thank you. Huge props.
Of
Had to put
course,
that in there.
I appreciate it.
Well, so moving on from that, we want to have sort of a segment on this podcast that we want to do regularly, where we talk about some current events, um, both inside the Arkansas youth sphere, like the district, just so people, we can put stuff out there for people maybe that you have the opportunity to go to, but also give us a chance to kind of talk about broader worship stuff, events happening in the broader worship community, trends, whatever. And we do plan to make this a guest featured podcast as well. So we've got some plans in the works for that. Today, your guest is Brother Omri and me. So do with that what you will. But today, I'm actually going to ask Omri, if you will, to talk about the mission, vision, and values of Arkansas Youth Worship. We've touched on it already about our heart for it, but you, as the coordinator, you have a very close, hands-on, feel for what this thing is supposed to be doing and what it really is. So, can you explain to our viewers what really is the vision behind this organization, and what's the goal,
Yeah.
what's the values that people, when they say I'm a part of Arkansas Youth Worship, what is it going to do to them? How does that change our lives?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is on paper, and then I'll tell you what it is in my terms. And I'm the person who put it on paper as well, but I think it's kind of good to hear both sides. So the mission on paper is equipping the youth of Arkansas to serve and lead the local churches that make our district what it is, amplifying the God-given talent and anointing in order to share the gospel through lyric and song. And that was a really hard thing to like write out because that's a lot of
Yeah.
taking a lot of responsibility there, right? Um, but I really think if you can just put it in simple terms is how can I make the youth of Arkansas, not me, but we as Arkansas youth worship, how can we make an avenue for the youth of Arkansas, no matter the size of their congregation, no matter what technology they have ability to have, or equipment, how can we make it a way for them to get hands-on experience like you're talking about earlier and e- put that what you're talking about, put that ounce of hey pursuing excellence or that ounce of
Hmm.
hey pursuing the spirit of God in my worship services, just
Exactly.
dropping that and getting the youth to find a drive to pursue those things. And that is equipping them, right? We're equipping them to then amplify, right? Amplify, we use the word all the time, but it's pretty simple. It's making something louder, right? It's growing the signal of something,
Yeah.
right? So if we can allow our students to do that, and maybe that's through a bass guitar, or maybe that's through running Pro Presenter. I don't know which one, and it's so different for every church's need, but pursuing excellence in that way is what we really want to get people to get
Yeah.
a hold of, and it is about the excellence, but also it's really a part of. I mean, excellent looks so different in each situation, and
Yeah.
that's why the core values of Arkansas Youth Worship is to equip students, empower students, and lead students to the voice of God. Because at the end of the day, even though the excellence looks different in your scenario compared to somebody else's, it all looks the same whenever we're trying to find the voice of God. And that's just simply having a relationship with him. And I know that was kind of a theme that kept coming up in a lot of our split sessions at Equip this past dude, it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What in the
Flew by.
world? But that was the whole point, right? Is all this is fine and dandy, but if I'm up here trying to perform this task and lead people to God, but I don't really know the voice of God myself, probably not going to be
Exactly.
able to do that very well. So, yeah, I think that's the essence of Arkansas Youth Worship. Fun fact, I thought I'd throw this in here. Um, our logo is a mockingbird. A lot of people probably don't know that. We kind of just dropped it and started using it. The reason it's a mockingbird is because obviously Arkansas, the state mockingbird or the state bird is a mockingbird.
Yeah.
But so it represents our state, but also our mission. The bird gets its name because it sings songs of other birds, hence the name mocking, obviously. But it's a tactic that the mockingbird uses against its enemies, projecting the voice of more birds. Do you know anybody that projects the voice of things in the Bible? Yeah, his name is Gideon, right? Yeah, Gideon's army in Judges, I think it's Judges 7, uses the same tactic to defeat the Midianites. It makes it sound like there's a lot more of them than there are, if to put it in simple terms, long story short. But God uses this and is able to defeat them by winning a battle, not by sword and shield, but what I would like to call worship. I mean, they were doing it for God and
Yeah.
pursuing something that God put in front of them. And that's why it's just a bird on a shirt, but that's why we kind of did that. And if you look below our stream, we got a new iteration of the logo. It's
Let's
pretty
go.
sweet, and coming on t-shirts and hats to you at camps. So
It's
you better
also
look
a
that up.
W.
It is also a W and a Y if you look really hard, and a A if you look even harder. Don't look that hard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the purpose. That's the mission. and I think that's always going to stay true no matter who's over this. Arkansas Youth Worship has its course, like I said, all the way from Brother Jeremy. To me, it's equipping the students and amplifying what they're doing.
That's awesome. Well, did you want to touch any more on values? Any other cool little tidbits of statements that we have going forward? Or I feel like that sums up the organization itself really well, but like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I feel good about that. Yeah, I feel about how we tied that up there. So
cool. Well, now guys, it's my turn to rant again.
yes, sir.
Um, this is the part of the show. I almost did the Veggie Tales voice. I gotta really hold myself back when I say that. But this segment is titled The Toolbox. Okay.
Let's go.
We're here in Equipped
I had a
Live.
button for sound, I would, but you told me not to.
Our soundboard is not fully functioning yet.
Doesn't
Just
have
kidding. We don't
power.
have a soundboard. But the toolbox, I'm so happy about this. We're going to have a segment of the show every month where we have a specific person bringing you expert advice on one topic within worship and creative ministry. So this week, I gave that segment to, go ahead and bring them on stage. It's me. You're stuck with me this week. But no, so we've got some time dedicated here to actually add value to your life, not just to hear us have a conversation. I mean, we're having a conversation, but I went ahead and put together a little something that I want to share with you guys this week. And it's about team chemistry in a worship department or a worship team. And yes, I'm speaking about how to foster that chemistry. But really, I'm talking more about how to be a good teammate. Okay. So we're going to drop a little tool in your toolbox and you're going to be equipped. This is your equipment right here, is how to be a good teammate. Okay. Step number one is the one that we could spend the most time talking and or ranting about is communicate. Okay. If you're going to be a good team member on a team that's serving your church, you got to communicate.
This is good stuff.
Introverts, I'm so sorry. I am an introvert, but you you can't just get by in ministry without interacting with people. I know sometimes it feels like, oh, I just need to be by myself with God, but God left us a church, and the
100%.
church is people,
Right.
and you have to interact and play well with people to really minister. To really be a minister, you're ministering to God and you're ministering to people. You're ministering to the church. So, step one is communicate.
Can
And
I
I
speak
mean,
to that for just a second?
go for it.
So I think one way that we don't do well at this is a lot of time like this is kind of a practical way, but a lot of times we rely on the ND to communicate everything, right? Like he has a microphone or she has a microphone and they're calling the shots, dynamics, numbers, sequence, whatever you want to say. Um, and obviously there's only so much you can do without a microphone. But I do think in rehearsals, there's always value in appropriate amounts to say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Or what if we did this here? Or hey, I just need to work this out with the drummer real fast. We're not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than letting things go by and kind of standing, I like hopefully the MD catches it, or hopefully he brings it up, or she points out that I'm playing the wrong chord, or like just communicate. And
Yeah.
that's like you said, really hard for somebody who maybe doesn't get out of their shell too much to kind of say like, "Hey, I'm doing this wrong," or "Hey, I don't really know what I'm doing here." But that's the time to communicate, right? It's pretty hard to communicate
Yes.
mid worship,
Right.
besides the MD. But just a
Yeah,
thought.
that's the first really big main thought that we're going to go with is communicating about music stuff. Okay? So I know guys, I know as a newer musician or even in a where you're in a place where it's like you want the people around you to not notice your your like insecurity, like the things about your music and your singing that you don't want people to notice. It's a lot easier to try and hide those if you just zone in on yourself, just kind of, stay in your bubble and get through the service. But to really be more effective as a team, you have to be honest,
Yep.
you know? And if you're being honest with yourself during the week and practicing and trying your best and devoting your talents and time to God, and you get into a worship service and there's just something that's a little bit out of your reach, it's a little too virtuoso for you, that's totally fine. Just communicate and say, hey, I can't play it like the multi-track does. Um, is it okay, if I change or simplify a little bit of these chords? Or,
Yeah.
um, maybe the worship leader, you're saying, hey, this solo is way out of my range. We could lower the key, but I don't want to mess everybody up. If that's okay, we could do that. Or, do I need to not lead this song this week? Or just be honest and don't do it out of insecurity, but just do it out of honesty and out of, what needs to happen that's best for the team, that's least distracting in a church service, that's going to really just help the spirit be able to flow as much
Right.
as possible.
Yeah.
Another part of communicating about worship, about music stuff, talk to each other as a team outside of church. Like we have a little Instagram group chat with a lot of our core band members. So
Yeah.
sorry if anybody's watching this that you're not in the group chat. We actually haven't used it in a while, but we'll just send each other reels of
Yeah,
like,
I do the
dude,
same
this
thing.
arrangement on this song is so sick. We should try
Yeah.
something like this sometime.
Or like funny
Or
things, right? Like
or just funny things like
yeah, people
look
being
how yeah,
like real like dumb reels like
non-related music reels. Like just
yeah,
build chemistry as a team, and you're already having to spend so much time with people because of church services. Just enjoy the people you're with, right?
100
Love
yeah.
people. Communicate outside about stuff like that. So communicating about music stuff, right? Like planning center, please know what version of the song you're doing before you get to church. It's like, I learned the IBC version. It has 6 extra choruses. Uh,
That's an
versus somebody who's
all-time
doing
classic.
the radio version, who's doing the live version, the extended version. Okay. Just send a text. Hey, worship leader, I noticed we're doing this song. Are we doing it in the original key or are we doing a different version or what's going on here? Because there's
Yeah,
like 17 different artists that recorded Worthy of It All.
right. If
Um,
it's not clarified, like, you know, and
so
hopefully,
that's just practical stuff that you can communicate about to make your experience better as a team member and you can function better. But there's another side of communication that I really want to see become more prevalent in our churches, and that's communicating about worship stuff. Okay. My problem right now with a lot of people that are involved in the worship genre of stuff,
the
my
worship
problem
sphere,
is
as you said earlier.
the worship sphere. My problem with a lot of people doing worship ministry is they don't study or care what worship ministry is supposed to be, and they don't have, not a lot of people, but some people don't have a good understanding of what it's supposed to be and of why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of just oh, I'm doing it while I'm doing it.
Yeah. So it's like we show up to church and every service we have 3 songs before the preaching. That's part of the service. And so I need to get really good at doing these 3 songs.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to make them really good. Well, that's really not, there's a lot more depth to this. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I want to encourage and what I want to see happening more in our churches, and especially in the youth of our churches, is be diligent in studying the scriptures, but also like read books about worship ministry,
Yeah.
because we as apostolics have a rich worship ministry heritage. And to just let it be boiled down to, well, we're going to have real good shout bump and we're going to have church tonight. That's, oh, dude, it irks me so bad to see Instagram reels. Oh, band was locked tonight. Like, where, what are we doing? Why are we not talking about God when we talk about music? Why are we not talking about God when we talk about planning our worship sets? So just
Yeah,
communicate and encourage each other to be spiritually minded about these things that you're doing. Okay. It's not for you as a musician. You as a musician are serving God. Just like someone as a preacher gives their life to God, or someone as an usher is serving God, or someone as mowing the lawn throughout the week is serving the house of God. Okay? Treat it as your ministry, and other people have to sacrifice for their ministry. So sacrifice for your ministry.
it's good stuff.
Um, do you want to add anything to that before I move on from the communicate
Is that your last point
topic?
on communication? Because I just don't want to step on something if you have anything left.
I was going to say, um, I've had experiences before where you have like four different mindsets happening in the same worship service. Like one person is like, I'm going to play this track exactly like the recording to the click, and that's all I'm doing today. Like they're just locked in on doing their thing. And then
Yeah,
you've got one person who's like, I'm really here to worship,
yeah,
and they're not even paying attention to the music as much. And then you've got somebody who is like just going absolutely going off, play like whatever electric guitar player doing crazy solos the entire service.
you had to
And so
call
you
him
got
out. You had to
everybody.
call out the electric guitar player.
Bro, I gotta call out EG players. They're the worst. No, I'm just kidding. We need EG players. Okay, anyway. But like if neither one of those people expresses any of their priorities to any of those other three people, all three of those people are going to be frustrated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If you're the performance person and you don't communicate excellence to the worship person, you're going to you're going to be really frustrated with how they're not paying attention to the click. And if you're the worship person and you don't communicate at all to the performance person about like, hey, this is not about a performance. This is worship to God. If there's never any communication between those different personalities, then everybody's going to be end up getting bitter and resentful or even just burn out, right?
yeah,
Because things aren't going. If nobody's communicating, you're not going to be on the same page, and it's going to show over time, whether it's in the worship service or whether it's in your heart. Like it just you can't sustain being a team without talking about what your goals are and what you care about in a worship
yeah.
service.
The only thing I wanted to say about communication is I feel like one thing that is hard to communicate about is what we messed up on. And whenever we walk off of a stage, I know countless amount of times is I messed up something that made it feel awkward, right?
Yeah.
And whether that's starting the track incorrectly, um, not getting the track back on, playing a wrong chord in a really bad moment, was just one of many things that could happen. Is I don't. It kind of just passes, right? Which is good in the moment. Like you need to move on, right? You need to,
Yeah.
just play the next note or pick up back where you can. But I do think it's helpful whenever you walk off the stage back to your seat, or maybe there's a moment you walk in the hallway with the rest of the band back to wherever you're going, and you're like, I messed up on that because of this. Like, why did that happen? And how can I be better at it and fix it? And if I don't know how to be better at it and fix it, I want to communicate to the rest of the guys and be like, what happened there? Like, what
Yeah.
would you do? Or, man, that was tough. It felt so wrong. Or maybe nothing even crazy happened. Maybe you didn't mess up, but the worship set just did not go well.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important that we talk about what is not working as well as we say, man, the band was so locked, or man, that was so awesome, or that moment was sick. Let's also look and be like, why was that transition so bad? Like, why did that one bridge just like flop? What can we do?
Yeah.
Like, do we need to
Oh,
move
I
on?
got to say something here too.
Yeah.
Take some accountability. I've been in too many conversations lately. Honestly, some of it is me too. But in the past, I don't know how many years of doing worship ministry, it's so easy as a musician to be like, man, this church is not getting with me.
Yeah,
And
dude, that's so
bro,
true.
you can't live like that. That's not good. That
Yeah,
is
that's so true.
not servanthood. That is not serving your church. They're not supposed to get with you. You're
Yeah,
serving them.
yeah, but
You are ministering to the church with
yeah,
music.
yeah,
Stop acting like it's a concert and like you deserve some response from the congregation.
yeah, 100%.
You're feeding them theology. You're feeding them music that they're supposed to use to interact with God as worship in that moment.
Yeah,
And for them or for you to say, "Oh, dude, they're not getting with us. We gotta cut that out." I myself included have been guilty of it.
yeah,
It's frustrating sometimes where it's like, man, why did this not go over like I planned it in my head? So that's
yeah,
something that we need to start talking about as musicians in a healthy way and say, look, this service didn't quite go as expected, but you never know. What if the words of that bridge, excuse me, what if the words of that bridge are going to carry somebody through a hard moment at work this week?
yeah. It might
Like,
not went
you never
great
know
for
the
everybody,
seeds that
but
are being planted. Yeah.
yeah, it went great for somebody. And
So,
yeah, I think that's good. Hey, if we're about to switch to another point, before we do, my man Luke Yelverton is in the chat, and he tried out on
okay.
drums at Arkansas Youth Worship Choir tryouts.
Yeah.
He did a phenomenal job. I just wanted to give him a shout out. He's in the chat right now. And
What's up, Luke?
I don't know if you can see the comment, but he said, "Y'all did a great job equipped in tryouts. I played the drums, and I feel like I brought back some good advice." So, thanks for letting us know that, Luke. We appreciate you
Yeah,
doing
that
that.
means a ton, man.
So, just wanted to throw that in there.
Beautiful. So that's kind of a good transition into my next little piece of advice. The second point that I want to make in being a good team member is pray. It's honestly, it's going to look really bad that I don't spend as much time on this one. And that's going to be
It's simple
stereotypical.
though.
Oh, you're just a stereotypical musician. You don't even spend time in prayer. But no, prayer, I mean, that's what we're taught how to do
You
when
get
we
it or
come to
you don't.
church, right?
Yeah,
Like, do you discipline yourself to pray and be a prayerful person, live
simple
a
as that.
prayerful lifestyle, or do you not?
It's
Do
and
you
it.
talk to God or not? Right.
Yeah, we make it so hard, man. And it is hard. It's hard to do it at first. Just like it's hard to start lifting weights at first. Just like it's hard to start being a
Yeah.
runner or start playing the piano. Like it's always hard at the beginning. But once you do it and you're actually disciplined about it, man, it's hard to not, you know? So, yeah, it's hard to spend a lot of time on it because there's just not much that goes to it. But it's such an important piece.
I'm going to take a risk and put myself out here and say a quote that I don't even know if it's true or not. So you guys can fact check me. But I saw this in a reel or a short or something where it was like there was a Buddhist guy saying that all these people obsessed with the new wave of meditation and stuff like that, they actually would make horrible Buddhists. Like they would make horrible monks as like a lifestyle because they have the wrong approach of why you do it.
Yeah,
And prayer and meditation is not really like we build ourselves up in prayer and we build ourselves up in the spirit. I understand that. And I'm not trying to say that, prayer doesn't help you, but prayer overall and meditating on God and being, aligned with the spirit. If you think about it, at the end of the day, it's not really just for you. Like you are a spirit filled believer who's talking to God right now. You're good. The point of it is to make sure that you are aligned with God and his will and are being used appropriately in service to the people around you.
right.
You can tell when somebody is the closer you get to God, the more of God's love you show to the people around you.
Yeah.
It's a direct equivalent.
Yep. You
And
are what you eat.
somebody who is very prayerful about their worship ministry, when they show up to a rehearsal and they play during a service, their attitude shows it.
Yep.
And their personality is more conformed to what God would be doing in that
Yeah.
moment.
And it
So
doesn't take
prayer
a
is about shaping you into that ministry rather than making you feel better about everything. That's just a thought that I wanted to present. What were you
yeah,
saying?
it doesn't take a prophet to like read that. It doesn't take
Yeah.
a super like deep fivefold ministry person to analyze that, hey, this person's got something off about them. Like it just as much as Jesus will shine through you, negativity, man, and
Yeah.
and and I don't really like the term burnout because that's a soapbox we won't get on tonight. But
Yeah.
um, I that just shines through just as much, and if not sometimes worse. To be honest, I think that if you aren't practicing what you're talking about, people read it all the way from the pew, if you will. So
Yep. And it's not a one-time fix. I'm a procrastinator in a
yeah,
lot of things in life, and I
yes, you
think
are.
that I can
Good
just
stuff. I'm just sorry.
okay,
I'm just kidding.
it's
I'm
not
joking.
that. I'm working on it, all right?
I'm messing with you.
But I think that I can just put it off and fix it all at once.
Yeah,
But you can't permanently fix your prayer life.
yeah.
Like I personally have shown up to a Sunday service in the best spirits, prayed up. I've been praying all week and I'm really excited for what God's going to do. And it just flows through me. Like I'm in the flow state, right? But I've shown up to several Sunday services with a horrible attitude, no sleep, no prayer, no coffee, God
Oh yeah,
forbid. And I'm trying to I'm in survival mode, right? And
been
I'm
there.
snapping at people when they change stuff and I'm not loving people like I should. And that lack of prayer for that service prohibits me from being what God wants me to be in that service.
Yeah, that's
It's
very good.
it's a case by case. You have to pray every time and you're not going to fix it by praying once. Like everything you do has to be prayerful. And I've looked back and be like, man, I was being so awful to my team. Like, why am I being like that to people? It's because I'm not praying.
Yeah,
It's because I'm not aligned with the Spirit.
yeah.
So pray for each other, pray for the church service, and pray for the song sets that you're doing and you're involved in. Pray for your pro presenter. Pray,
There
God,
you
I
go.
pray these words that I'm showing people, let them really stick. Let people glorify you with these words that I'm showing them this week. Like, be a prayerful person in whatever part of the church service you're in. You're in the church service. You don't have to be out of it or not be prayerful just because you're in the balcony operating a camera. Like, be prayerful that the live stream impacts somebody's life that day.
Hey, can I?
All right.
I'm gonna. You said something earlier, and I'm gonna expose myself as well. Like I recently kind of had to have a check in my mind, and it was I was running pro presenter for our church, and I didn't have any scriptures or a sermon title like mid worship, and that happens sometimes. Whether it's a guest speaker or your pastor is not still like trying to decide what he's gonna do, and that happens a lot of times. And I know some churches, like I'm being very transparent, and I know a lot of churches probably go through the same thing I'm talking about every Sunday. It's really easy to get frustrated with that and like let it shine through your actions of like, well, they expect me to have the scriptures up, but I didn't get it in time or
Yeah.
whatever. And that you start letting that build up every Sunday, you can kind of like you said,
It's dangerous.
why did I snap at my teammates, or why did I snap at
Yeah.
the guy running sound next to me for no reason, or why am I so short with pastor now? Because like you got to remember why we're doing it, and
Yep.
all those things will kind of fade away. So
So we've gone really long for these first two, like way longer than I thought I was going to end up talking. My wife tells me, I don't know why or she said, I don't know why you were ever worried about being too short winded as a preacher because every time you talk about anything, it goes way too long. So,
We're right.
My wife doesn't just roast me all the time. I just like to bring it up when she does because it's fun to make fun of myself. But so I will condense my last 2 points kind of into one because they fit together really well. And we've actually already talked a little bit about some of it. And basically, my last 2 points were attitude and effort. Attitude and effort. And attitude, ooh, attitude, bro. People's attitudes. That's probably the number one pet peeve of mine that prevents me from like really being able to say that I can get along with anyone. Cause there's certain people when their attitude is just like, oh dude, I'm so good. I'm the best keys player this church has ever seen. Like I'm taking this district by storm, bro. That kind of attitude, I have to really pray when I'm interacting with people like that. And
Yeah.
God forbid, I probably have come off to some people like that too. I mean, attitude is a thing that it's hard to even tell when you're the problem. But that's what I just want to talk about for a second is attitude will affect your effort too. So I'm going to focus on attitude for a second. But when it comes to attitude, a lot of it is motive. Okay. So why, if you understand why you're doing the certain things that you're doing, like why are you looking for keyboard opportunities or why are you wanting to be the worship leader for this service? If you understand your motives and those are good, usually your attitude is good too.
Yeah.
And people that have the wrong motive, where it's like, I'm trying
It's
to
hand in
gain
hand.
something for myself here or get content or get whatever, I'm just here farming aura, then your attitude usually is not as good. So that's one thing to be really careful of. Don't try to make every solo or every worship leading opportunity into a live recording. Don't come at it with that attitude.
It's not gonna go well.
Bro, this is something that God has genuinely had to smack me over. Is this there's a specific attitude that I've had that I genuinely had to have prayed out of me is thinking that I have all the answers. That's a tough one.
Dude,
When
that's
you
yeah.
see when you see something in the church or in a camp
And
or
you think you got the
in
fix.
and you're like, dude, if I was over this,
I know
it would
best.
be mm-hmm. Or if I was in charge of this little team right here, we would not
You
be doing
know.
it this way and everything would be fixed. Bro, thinking you have all the answers is number one, it's the direct opposite of submit yourselves one to another, right? It's the direct
Yeah, I
opposite of operating in love and peace and unity. But thinking that you have all the answers is directly pride, like
yeah, it is.
unequivocally pride. And God will not honor that. He can work in spite of you at times, but he won't honor it and he won't exalt you.
Yeah,
Support other people's ministry and have a good spirit. Go
I
ahead.
can't echo that enough, man. It's I I relate to that so much. And especially whenever you're and this is specifically to the youth of Arkansas, is like just because you might are be in the know a little more than the person who's been over sound for years at your church, or the the lady who's been serving on the piano for 20 years, or your music director who is still doing at the cross every other Sunday, like that is what we're talking about, right? That's when you can be like, "Pff, if I was over this, we would be so much better. We would," and
Yep.
I've been there. Like I gotta give a shout out to my man Daniel Castellano. You know Daniel Castellano? He's he
Yeah.
was he was a person that was over music in my youth group growing up, and I used to text him. I used to text him literally Monday morning, bro. It would arrive. We're just talking about youth, like 20 people are ending youth at that night. Like it's not a big deal. I would text him on Monday morning, like, "Hey, what's the set list? Hey, what's the set list for Monday night?" This guy is working like 40 hours. He's got a family, and youth 12-year-old Omri or 15-year-old Omri was like, "What's the set list gonna be?" Or, "Hey, we should do this song." It'd be like something super unattainable, like for the youth.
Oh my
But
gosh.
but that is what I'm talking about. Is you can begin to think that you know all the answers whenever you don't have all the perspective. So Um, my guy Luke Carlskin is on here, and he said Dan the man because he knows Daniel. So, but yeah, and you know what his reply was every time, Mason, is DWAI. Don't worry about it.
Oh, dude. Man, he
Like,
was bold about it.
oh yeah. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for it now. And we don't always know best, and it would not always be better if we were over it. God has put that person in that specific place for a time and purpose. So that's good stuff, Mason.
Yeah, man. I mean, oh, it especially if you just process every instance of your reality through that lens of I could do this better, you're gonna be miserable.
It's exhausting.
You
And
are
you would
going to
be
be
exhausted
so
if you were
miserable.
doing all those things. So
Exactly.
yeah.
You need to be okay not pushing everybody to always make it a live recording or like just take a step back, make sure that you have the right motive, that you're actually in the spirit, you're worshiping and you're praying, and just let the moment be worship unto God. And just look, this is out of my control. I'm submitted to my team. I'm submitted to my pastor and my worship minister, and I
Yeah.
just want to do my role in making this church be the best that it can be.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I had for attitude. Also, that goes along with giving people grace. When you're a better musician than someone, that doesn't make you better than them. And then also when you're the more talented you get, the easier it is to fall into, oh, I don't have to practice, or oh, I if we're just going to do it this way anyway, I'm just going to show up 10 minutes late and, you know, just go sit on the drum set, not having listened to the songs and do whatever I want because I'm really good. No, still take everything seriously. Like it still matters, your
Yeah.
attitude and your effort for the established expectation is what matters. But again, it just goes back to communicating, goes back to being prayerful, goes back
Yep.
to fixing your attitude. And when your attitude, your effort, your prayer life, and everybody's communicated and honest and on the same page, bro, God can really move powerfully in a worship service.
Yeah, it goes a
When
long way.
people put their egos aside, they put in the work, but they put their egos aside and they're all in one mind and one accord. Like literally, that's when they were able to receive the gift of the Holy Ghost on the day of Pentecost, was when they were on one mind,
Yeah, that
one
was the key.
accord. We've talked about this. This is what our goals are. It's not about us. It's not about our music. It's about using our music to minister to this church. That's when a worship team becomes incredibly effective. And you won't have to worry anymore about, are the people going to get with you? That's not what it's about anymore. It's about honoring each other and honoring God with every note, every word, and then boom, God can use
Powerful
you for his
stuff.
glory.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up the toolbox session. That went really long, but
Hey, that
oh
was a
man.
great first two ball. Tool ball. Dude, I was bound to say something wrong. There's no way I was gonna
Uh,
make it this whole time without saying something wrong. So that was a great first toolbox segment. Great
yeah,
job, Mason.
thank you. All right. Moving forward, our last segment, we're closing in on an hour here, but we did
Yeah,
start a few minutes early, so I don't
we
feel
did.
super rushed.
Yeah. I say
But we
we
want to
got like
do what's
12
called
minutes, right? We got 12 minutes. We'll say 8 o'clock.
perfect. Um, I want to do a segment that I would like to title, if you'll give me the grace to call it call and response. That's a
Sheesh.
it's a music term, but a music term meaning you guys are going to respond anyway. Okay, so we're going to take questions. So if you guys have any questions for us about, it doesn't have to be about what was said, but about anything Arkansas Youth Worship, anything worship ministry, anything creative ministry. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them right now on Instagram, YouTube. Just drop it in the chat. We're going to get to those. And while
Type
you
it
guys are
up.
typing out your questions, we have some pre submitted questions from our Instagram story that we're going to go ahead and dive into. The first one, I hope we've answered it by now, is practical prayer life advice.
Yeah, we
Have we
covered that a
hit that
little.
one enough?
Yeah. Hey, set a time, man. It ain't gonna happen unless you know when you're gonna do it. That's my biggest.
Yep.
And I know I know that it's tough, but the morning time, bro, before everything gets going, before you have to stop some like everything else going on your day, like that's about the only time for me, at least for me personally. Like if I don't do it then, kids reign the whole other part of the day, so ain't happening. But hopefully,
Um, I'll
youth in
I'll
Arkansas
say
isn't dealing with that.
hopefully. uh, no. So for me, I'll tell you what's like when you don't know what to pray, when you're just like, maybe you're like, I want to pray, I want to be more in tune with God, but I
Yeah,
can't, there's no flow to it when I try to pray. And it's just like, it feels really weird. Don't go into prayer with a specific outline of what it has to look like.
right.
Just be okay
Just talking.
if it's just you. Here's my favorite verse that's not about prayer that I use about prayer. And it's in all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your paths. I put it in a song. I loved it so much. But in all your ways, acknowledge him and he'll direct your paths. Sometimes prayer is just acknowledging God. Because honestly, too often as Christians, we live our lives pretending God's not there.
Right.
Or we live it in a way as if God's not there, right? When we pick a movie or when we hang out around certain company, we just kind of
Sheesh.
turn the spirit meter off and we're like, I'm just going to live as if God is not watching me right now. And then when it's time to pray, he
Yeah.
pops back up into existence.
Picking a
But if
movie
you'll
is
just in
crazy, bro. It's so good. That's so true.
I
So
had to
true.
say it. But in all your ways, acknowledge him. Part of being prayerful is first off, hey, he's there at every second, every moment of every day. God is literally right there.
Yep.
And if you'll just acknowledge that and say, God, number one, I believe in you. He that believes God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. That's my IPT verse of the day. Okay. God, I believe in you. I believe, that you want to have a relationship with me, and I acknowledge you as Lord of my life. Please do whatever you want with my life today. Lead me, guide me, use me for your will. And that
Yeah.
is the best first steps into prayer that you can take is acknowledging God and submitting to what he's going to do with you for that day. And then boom, you're in the spirit.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes, literally.
Yeah.
So that's my little tidbit for prayer life. Um, we can go to the next question,
Yeah. Next
and
question.
I'm gonna completely give this to you,
Okay.
because I'll probably get really mad if I start talking about it.
Okay.
Um, Practices, should they happen outside of service for a band, or should they happen right before service? And I'm gonna add a part or both. But do with that what you will.
So when I
Yeah,
first read this question, my immediate response was practices practices should
there we
happen.
go. I was hoping you'd say it.
Practices should happen by yourself at home. Rehearsal happens together before a service.
What's the difference, Omri? What's the difference between a practice and a rehearsal?
Practice is where you learn it. Rehearsal is where you execute it in the
There
most
we
simple
go.
way. So at practice, when I'm at home, that's where I can noodle around, if you will, like figure out what I'm doing, what I want to do, when I'm gonna change tones, or you know what chord I actually am gonna play here. Like that's when you figure it out and you listen to a section 50 times until you hear the exact voicing they're doing. That's practice, right? Rehearsal is I'm playing with the group. We all know this song because I've been
Hmm.
practicing. That's what happens before service. So I think we can leave it at that, right?
So, what would you say to the worship leader or band leader who says, "Hey, we're gonna have practices on Saturday nights for the
Okay.
band"?
I think you have to really outline what you expect. Because in my opinion, re- practices like that, I almost said rehearsals like that, but practices like that aren't really all too effective. Because it ends up just kind of being everybody playing over the top of each other, trying to figure out what they're doing, unless you've had time to digest it in practice by yourself. Um,
Uh, so I guess some people would say, "Oh, we're going to get together on Saturday night so that we don't have to get there as early on Sunday." But then you're really just asking people to come an extra night and probably not get as much out of it. So you're saying it ends up being more problems than it solves.
yeah, I don't feel like it's too efficient. Now, obviously, that's my own experience with my own teams. Like, it find what works best for your for your team. Maybe Sundays are hard. Maybe a lot of your team members are uh maybe like in this case students, and they're having to ask their parents to get up early and take them to practice or rehearsal, and that's tough. Saturday night is easier for some reason. That that's fine. But just outline what you expect to happen in that said rehearsal.
And then that's also excluding like special services and bigger programs, right? Like it's okay to get together and practice if you're doing like an 8 song set for Christmas or something.
Yeah, that's a
You got
little
to be
different.
locked for that.
And you got
But
to talk through stuff. Yeah, so I guess that's a good example. Christmas services, Easter, things like that.
um okay, my Instagram is not letting me pull up any
So we
comments. I
got
guess cuz I haven't been in there, but
really just got one thing to answer, and our man Luke Yelverton, he asked, "Will there be more lives like this?" And the answer is, you bet your bottom dollar that there's going to be more lives like this. We're going to try to do this once a month. That's the goal. So
once a month.
TBD on the date, and we got something cooking on the guest. So just just make sure you know what's happened. Um,
We're going to do a little teaser here on, we've got a guest coming, but stay tuned for the actual leak when it goes live on the Arkansas Youth page and
yeah,
AR Youth Worship.
yeah, that's the place to know the stuff. Uh, I say we got 3 minutes here. So if anybody in the chat has anything they want to ask. Okay, Corbin said, is there gonna be new music? Corbin, I assume that you mean like from us, right? Arkansas Youth Worship music?
Um, I will let me just say this. I will bend Omri's arm. Is that how you say it? I'll bend.
Yeah.
I will twist his ear. I'm gonna
Twist my
stop.
arm. You'll
Twist his
twist my
arm.
arm.
There we go, dude. My wife's
Bend
rubbing
my
off on
ear.
me.
I think that
Yeah.
actually is the saying. That's yeah, it's awesome.
I'm gonna twist Omri's arm until he lets us record live music again
We
because
want
that was
to.
such a phenomenal.
We want to so
Um,
bad. There's so much that goes to it, and like anything else we do here at Arkansas Youth Worship, we want to put our best foot forward before we do something.
yeah,
Um, but just know that it's not something we've written off. It's not something that we say we can't do. We absolutely can do it. We should do it. We need to do it. Um,
I am doing it.
Brother Mason's doing it. He literally texts me every other
How
week.
often do I send you a
Yeah,
voice memo of me very badly singing a song that I just wrote down and scribbled out?
yeah, it's beautiful, man. And there's some
Oh
good
God.
stuff in there that we can make happen. So Marcos just joined the chat. Surely he has something super valuable to input.
Marcos Ramos, send us your best AR Youth Worship question right now from a Pro Presenter graphic design,
Hey yo,
everything guy. What kind of questions do you have for us today?
Corbin said
Because I,
let Brother Mason cook. He's talking about your songwriting. He does cook,
bro,
indeed.
I'm about to be burnt if I cook any longer. That was cringe.
That was
Um,
Marcos has
all
nothing
right.
to say.
Well, how do we want to wrap this up? We got
Oh,
some events this year for Arkansas Youth Worship Choir. We're going to be singing on the Thursday night of camp meeting.
that's right.
So don't miss that. It's going to be a blast.
And how do you feel about me leaking out at least one song that we're gonna do at senior camp? How do you feel about that?
Do it, man.
All right. You might know this one. I had personally not heard it until we had talked about set lists. It's
New
called
song alert.
Paul and Silas. Do you know that one?
Bro, I
I'd
literally,
never
number
heard
one,
it.
I taught this song to the New Life Christian Academy choir. We never did anything with it. And then we did it at Hyphen Retreat. So the people that were at Hyphen Retreat have heard it.
Okay.
The I have one desire, that you get the glory out of my life. Banger.
Yeah,
Absolute banger.
it is a great one. So we're gonna be doing that at senior camp. Marcos did give us a comment, and I should have known that it was gonna be something like this. He said, "How is it my job to make sure all of the singers know their lyrics?"
It's not. I'm just
Okay,
going to say it right now. No. I'm going to say it right now. Musicians show up and know the notes, and singers show up and don't know the words. I'm coming for your head. I'm coming for your throat right now, singers.
this is
Listen to the
controversial.
song.
This is
Learn the
We were
words.
unified until Marcos got into the chat.
Bro, all you have to do is learn some words.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you at all, actually. I agree. You don't have to know it for the singers. You need to know it for the congregation. That
There we
is
go.
why we have Pro Presenter. The confidence monitor, yeah, it's back there, and yes, it helps them. But really, why are we putting words up on the screen? For the people who don't know the song, so people can worship and join in, right? And then for
Mm-hmm.
newcomers, right? Who really, it's like, oh, I know that we do the song every Sunday. Well, this person might not. So that's why I think we put words up on the screen.
It really shouldn't be taken out on the pro presenter guy though if the singers mess up their words. Like
I agree. It
we
is
don't
hard to
who do
read.
we take it out on? Who do we take it out on if the keys player plays a wrong note during a really sentimental, like emotional intro? Who do we blame?
Nord. We take it out on the Nord.
We don't blame the instrument. We don't blame the multi-track. We don't blame nobody except the keys player. I think
Okay,
the blame should be shared evenly.
I know we're running over time here, but the chat is finally starting to get involved here. Did you see? I think this is Christian Martinez.
Chris.
Chris. Is his name actually
Um,
Christian fully? I thought it was. My bad. My bad, Chris.
maybe it is. I don't know.
What's y'all's process when learning a new song? Go ahead, Mason. Keep it short.
Okay. Step number one, I'm going to literally do them in the order of importance. Step number one, listen to the song more than once without playing it. Listen to the song. What's your process for learning a new song? Listen to the song. Step number two,
Intentional listening.
analyze. Yes. Analyze what your instrument is doing. Okay. So don't just like play along to the song with the chord chart. What is your instrument supposed to be doing in that song? Is the keys player, is it like a full keys song where you're like doing everything all the time? Or are you just padding playing chords? And it's like that kind of Charity Gale, like the keys player just kind of plays these big lush chords and lets them hang there. So that's my process. And then I break it down section by section. I'm the kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna learn the intro as its own thing. I'm gonna learn the verse. I'm gonna learn the chorus.
I
That
do the
kind of
same
thing.
thing. Yeah. Especially on really hard involved songs. That's kind of how I did it. Okay. I don't know who this is, but they commented and said the username is Eli. Are the bongos acceptable for Sunday morning service? And answer is absolutely they are.
Bro, you
Praising
need
on
to
the
talk to Isaac Woolen.
Praise him on the whatever you got. That's what I'm pretty sure. I don't think
Can we
God's gonna
shout out Isaac?
Bongo King. Yeah, I think
Bro, he worshiped God with the Taco Bell gong.
I wish I had it so bad. Shout out to Isaac One, bro. Hey, for real though, when you take it seriously, yes. Like if that's your avenue to worship God, who am I to say you can't do it? Just like people do with washboards in southern Mississippi. Okay, Marcos has one more comment, and this is gonna be it. All right, this is. I feel like we can wrap it up here.
Final boss.
Final boss. How does one truly understanding? How does one truly understanding what they're singing? I don't just want it to be a song that I sing because it's Sunday. I feel like that's
Yes.
so deep.
Okay.
Final boss.
If he's talking about from the perspective, since
Uh,
since this is a worship ministry podcast, I'm going to pretend he's asking about if you're a vocalist or a band member on Sunday and you're trying to have some sort of meaning um, in the words that you're singing. I personally, I think you should pray over the songs that you're singing. I think you should not just listen to them, but you should be like, what, number one, what's the message of this song? And then pray, God, help people to really know. Like, for example, if you're doing Jesus Be the Name, you pray, God, I pray for a revelation of the power and authority of the name of Jesus in my church this Sunday when we sing this song. Don't let it just be a hype. Don't let it just be a cool moment, God, but I pray genuinely as we sing this song, would people begin to get a revelation of what this name means for your church? When you pray like that, a song can't help but have meaning to you.
yeah, yeah, that's good. I think I've even caught myself hearing people do this. I probably need to put it into practice. Is they will like go down the set list. Like, um, Lord, I believe that, I'm trying to think of an opener. Um,
Praise.
praise. Yeah. God, let's praise ring through this sanctuary this morning. Let us exalt your name today. Like, and then
Yeah.
maybe the next thing is not forgotten. God, I want people to know that you're there for them today. Like, just start going through the set list. I think that's, I mean, especially if you just rehearsed it like 3 or 4 times, and then you walk into a prayer room before church and you pray over what you just learned or should have known already, I guess. But yeah, good question, Marcus. Okay, well, dude, we did it.
That
First
was our first
one.
one.
First episode. We went way probably longer than we should have, but we are gonna post this podcast. If you weren't able to join us for the whole entire thing, we are gonna post it so you can go back and listen to it. Um, I say we end this like this right here with my man Luke saying, "I got the multi-track of a Taco Bell of the Taco Bell." He's gonna send it our way. So
The
maybe,
Taco Bell.
yeah, maybe we'll have it for the next one. But Mason, wrap us up, man.
Man, I'm just so honored to be a part of this movement. I really believe that
Yeah,
it's going to turn into that. Like Arkansas Youth Worship, it's going to start helping people in Arkansas. But I think what's going to come out as a result and a product of not just, you, but the result of young people buying in and really just desiring to worship God to the best of their ability. When you've got a bunch of people agreeing to do that, I think there's some amazing,
good things.
amazing things that can reach beyond Arkansas.
That's
I
right.
think I think the songs that we release are great, but I'm even talking about like ministers that are a result of development and growth from an organization like this that are going to be able to go to other states, other countries, churches in Arkansas
Yeah.
and really make an impact for the kingdom as a result of all of us just deciding together we love ministering to people. We love worship ministry. We love music, and we want to glorify God in all of this by getting better every single day. So we hope you feel equipped from
Yeah.
Equipped Live. We hope that you're encouraged and strengthened to go back to your church and, have that passion, that fire for worship ministry and creative ministry again. And so thank you guys for jumping in and watching, and God bless you and your music and creative journey.
We'll see you next time.